Hey, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening from well, I guess it's sunny Ohio here. Well, I'm still here in Cleveland area for another few weeks before I make my big move to Orlando. Thanks for joining in on this special show today. We've had Denys Cowan on this on the channel before. Did an art sale with him back in March, and we're going to be doing that again, having a nice talk with him. But before we get started, as you know, we are going to be doing an art sale today. So I wanted to kind of go over the ground rules of some of the things. But before I get started today, we'll be offering 15 artworks from Denys's career, and it's all published work. The works are going to be pieces from Batman Gotham Knights, Batman Ultimate Evil, Dark Knights, Death Metal Infinite Hour, that has Lobo in it, Black Panther, Captain America, Flags of Our Fathers, and a piece from Vampirella as well. So let me go ahead and review the kind of way we're going to handle the sale today. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with it because we've done these several times. So to purchase artwork today, you're going to be emailing Third Eye Comics, and the email address that you'll be emailing is nicole@thirdeyecomics.com. In the subject, please put Cowan Art Sale, and in the body of the email, include the lot number and your name. And I'm in touch with Nicole. She will text me the name, or well, she'll let me know that the artwork is sold by lot number, and I will announce it on the stream so that anyone who is considering buying a given lot knows that that artwork has sold. And so you don't need to email after we've made that announcement. So let me get on to the next slide here. All the prices that we show today do not include shipping and handling. So if you're in the US, your domestic shipping rate will be $20 and the international rate is $50. You can combine on shipping for multiple lots, of course. And as we've done in the past, Third Eye Comics is handling all of the fulfillment for the artwork presented today. And the artwork is already in hand, and Nicole's got it. So payments are expected within 48 hours tops. I mean, the sooner you pay it, the sooner the artwork will be turned around. By and large, anybody who's paying over the weekend will have their artwork in the mail by Monday or Tuesday. So you'll have it by the end of the following week. So that's kind of the ground rules for the show. And again, welcome everybody. I see there's a lot of you tuned in already. Mikhail, Jeff, and Ron. So let's get this thing started. I've got Denys in the green room, and we were chatting too much before the show started. And here, let me bring Denys in. Hey, Denys, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Hi, Bill. Yeah, we were chatting too much. We were just getting into it. We're like, oh my God, the show started. We got to stop.
But well, I have to kind of go back. So we were actually within probably 10 feet of one another at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, we had we were talking about, we were standing online at San Diego Comic-Con to get our yellow wristbands to show that we've either been vaccinated or that we've tested negative for COVID. You had to stand on a 2-hour line before you even got your badge to get into the convention.
Exactly.
To show that. So Bill was standing like 5 people in front of me, and I'm looking at him, and I decided not to say anything to him because he looked so miserable standing on that line. He had a backpack, and he just looked like he was through. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just leave him alone. I know I'm going to run into him in a couple of days. So
right.
We'll just speak.
Yeah, it wasn't a good moment for me.
No,
like I told you, I had to walk a mile from the Uber where they dropped me off. I had my full backpack on, and it was awful. And I was dealing with a couple of some phone calls. I bought a house down in Florida, and we were having some issues, so I was actually on the phone while I was in line trying to resolve a couple problems with a new roof we were just getting put on. And it wouldn't have been the best time for us.
Well, at least it wasn't like, really hot outside, so we weren't all out there.
Every time I could get under one of those umbrellas, I was happy.
It was the most miserable time. It was, but we got through it. So
yeah, no, exactly. So tell me a bit about San Diego, because I was going to ask you about that. I mean, like I said, we did our show last in March.
Yeah,
was San Diego the first show that you've been to, or
San Diego's really the first one? And the reason why I was there was, I helped run Milestone. We're doing all our books through DC and so on and so forth. So we were up there really celebrating and hyping Milestone, our first season of books, our second season of books, the new Static stuff, our young adult line of stuff. And then, we have a documentary that's on HBO Max right now.
Watched it.
Oh, you did?
I did. I even made a slide so we could let everybody know about
All
that.
right, there it is.
Yeah, it just debuted yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, and so I was in San Diego speaking about that. I was on the Jim Lee and Friends panel. So no one knew who Jim Lee's friends were going to be, but they all showed up for Jim Lee, right? So I'm the first friend, and I came out and did the whole Milestone presentation. And this is my friend Denys Cowan, and he does this, people clapping and stuff, and everyone got free books and whatnot. Then Paul Dano, the Riddler,
Mm-hmm.
that plays the Riddler, he came up because he's writing a book for DC. People lost their minds. Yeah, it's great. And then he says, and now I'd like to introduce my good buddy who I started this little company called Image with, Todd McFarlane. And people lost their minds because Todd came out waving and everything, grabs the mic and acts like Todd, and people are just like, ah. And then he calls out Greg Capullo. So it was like, I was up there with some superstars on that stage, and I think I was just looking around like in amazement, like, why am I even here? This is insane. This is so crazy. But people responded very well to everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I was there. That's Ron Lim. He's a legend.
Well, it's a different Ron Lim, but he's
okay.
he's Ron Lim the collector. We always
Okay. Well, the Ron Lim I know is a legend. So there you go.
Ron's a legend too, in his own way. He's a great designer. Actually,
Oh, wow.
He's done a lot of work for me on the on this channel. He's made a few logos for me. So
right on.
Here you go.
He is a legend.
Different legend. But so you didn't know in advance who the other friends of Jim were going to be?
I kind of knew because they have to tell you, what the makeup of your panel is going to be, so you're not, looking all stupid or saying something like, oh gosh, it looks like Todd McFarlane is going to be on my panel. It's supposed to be a surprise,
Right.
So they tell you, but it's all under wraps and everything, and it was good. It was good. Good time.
Well, VZA just said that the panel was great, so they were there, and their favorite announcement was the Milestone.
Yeah, they showed the trailer. They showed the trailer, which is available on YouTube, to the documentary. It's about a minute long, so there was a lot of good response.
No, it was honestly, it was fantastic. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't know the date. And while I was just doing a little research before the show, I saw that it was released yesterday.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic. I mean, it's everything you would want. I love the fact that it kind of started off with some original art being seen and talking about the creators. I mean, it was moving, touching. I mean, you kind of have your highs and lows as a company, certainly. And now you're riding this, new wave, right? Working with Milestone again.
Yeah, I know that it ended on a positive note, but it's a pretty, I would say it's an unvarnished look at what happened, and what's happening and what happened with Milestone. It's pretty unflinchingly honest, which a lot of people found refreshing. Reggie and I were speaking about it this morning. Reggie Hutland and I were speaking about it this morning. And we're pleased to see that for the most part, there hasn't been any negative reviews. Not one. People they're just into it. So.
Right. I don't know how there could be, at the end of the day, you guys had a mission. It wasn't, you didn't have you had a goal, you achieved it. And you're, like we talked about with on the last show, when you're bringing in the young talent, mentor them and everything. I mean, you're still doing what you wanted to do back in 91. I mean, and it's as strong today, if not stronger. As far and who would have thought, though, with the way things turned out and the shifting career choices you had to make while Milestone was sort of under the radar and out of commission. But you're back at it now. I mean, it's got to feel great.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It does feel good. Just as scary as the first time. Just with a little bit more knowledge of what it takes, which is maybe why it's a little scarier than the first time. I know, what you're in for. But so far it's been wonderful. It really has been.
Well, I mean, congratulations to you and everybody at Milestone. I think that you guys are doing just amazing work, and clearly the fans were ready for it. I mean, I think that the timing was really right. And I mean, I'm excited, but I would encourage everybody, if you can watch HBO, if you're subscribed to it, you should definitely check out the documentary, this weekend if you can, because it is fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's for, I think it's for people who are fans of Milestone, but I think it's for people who are fans of comics.
Mm-hmm.
Period. If you're a comic book fan, if you were just interested in that medium, if you're interested in Black business, because it is a Black business story, there's a lot of different angles to approach this documentary from. So, hopefully people from all.
I think there's a lot. There's a lot of things to relate to, even just from anybody who ever wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
The odds are always against you.
Yes.
You had more odds against you than many people starting a business, but at the same time, I mean, so it's
odds are odds.
Exactly.
And any that people will recognize that universal struggle. If you're trying to do your own business, or if you're an entrepreneur or anything, people recognize, what we went through. So hopefully they'll get something out of it. Hopefully.
I think they will. And Alberto wanted to know the name again here. I'll just bring it up. So Milestone Generation.
Milestone Generations on HBO Max.
Right. And there was actually, and I didn't see this earlier, but there was that Fan Zone bit, I think, that was up on HBO as well, that I haven't watched yet, but that had you on it as part of when I searched just for Milestone out there. So I'm gonna take a look at that as well. I don't know what that was, but I assume that was from the DC's version of a virtual con from 2021, I think.
Yes. Yeah. That was the DC. That was Fandom, DC Fandom. That's what you're talking about. So I appeared on that. Reggie appeared on that. But we got to do that from the comfort of our homes. So.
Right.
That was good.
The documentary, though, is top notch. I mean, whoever put it together and did all the work on it.
They did a lot of good work. They did good work.
Fantastic.
Yes. The director, Justice, and everybody. Our friends at Ally, a bank. They were really our backers and funded a lot of this stuff, and it's just been a great ride. So this is good.
Well, lots of fans here. So, in the documentary, there was, where you had mentioned that you were at DC, I believe at DC, and someone approached Steranko. So I assume maybe you were at least in the offices with him, or
no. Here's what happened. Yeah,
because I want to get the full story, because
that's a good story. It's not. Well, we were talking about the conventions in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's happened at a New York Comic Con, and it was in the 80s, and it had to have been after I was doing the question, right? Because I was already doing whatever I was doing back then, and wandering around the convention. And Steranko had a room. Now, maybe this was 84, 85, 86. He had a room at the convention, like his own room at the hotel. They hold it at the hotel, so he had his whole side room, and it was exhibiting his work.
So it was like a meeting room just set off.
The whole room was all his work. Yeah,
wow.
It was like a gallery. It was like all this stuff, the Shield stuff, because he kept all his originals. So all his stuff was out. And then he had stuff laid out on the table flat, covered by a plastic sheet, right? So he had his big pages laid out flat on the table. So I'm just looking at the pages. He was sitting there in his suit and stuff. And I knew Jim. I had seen him before. He knew me. And I probably met him at Continuity. I don't know when I'd seen him, but I'd been in the business for 10 years at that point, almost, since I was 14. So I know a lot of people. So he comes over to me as I'm looking at his work. Hey, Denys, how you doing? I'm like, it's Jim Steranko coming over to say anything. But I said, hey, Jim, I'm doing good. I'm great. So he kind of pulls me over to a corner, puts his arm around me, and which is a feat because he's a little shorter than me. Yet he can appear taller than everybody. He's just one of those guys, right?
And he's got a firm grip too.
Yes, he does. He's no joke. He's no fucking joke. So put his arms around me, says, hey, Denys, he says, some people have, and I don't know whether it was Marvel or DC, had approached him about creating Black superheroes. And he says, they've approached me about creating Black superheroes for them. He says, but it occurs to me, and he's looking at me as his arm is around me, that I may not be the best person to do that for a variety of reasons. And I'm thinking, well, yeah. And he's like, do you know anybody who would be good to do that? Do you know anyone who could possibly create Black superheroes Marvel or D? You know anyone who could do that?" And he's looking right at me, and I'm like, uh, 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 uh. I think I know somebody who could do. He says, "I'm just saying, you know," and I repeated this story. I'm just saying. He says, "There's an opportunity here for somebody if they would only take advantage of it and do something." So I'm just putting that out there. He just said, "I'm just leaving that with you," and he left it with me. And I told people that when I walked into that exhibit at that con, at Steranko exhibit, I was different than when I walked out. Because when I walked out, I had like a mission. It was like a thing he had planted in my head about what was going on. And it occurred to me, like, gosh, they're asking him to create these things because there are none. And whatever reasons they had, and whatever reasons he felt that he's not the right person to do it. Now I know why he felt that way, you know, but back then it was profound.
Sure.
So it got me thinking. It got me thinking for a couple of years, actually, about that conversation about Black superheroes. And I think I called one of my friends right after that, and we started talking about putting something together. But it wasn't until a few years later that that idea that he kind of sparked, combined with politics that were going on at the time, the music I was listening to, everything that was happening. When you're that age at that time, everything is just very intense, right? You're in your late 20s, early 30s, and if you're going to do something, this is the time to really do it. And you feel everything, right? So that was it. You know, that was the beginning of Milestone. It was almost like I was compelled to do it. Could not help it. Could not help
clearly, you know, Steranko saw something too. I mean, and he knew, you know, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, he gave you the reassurance, the confidence that he's saying you could, you know, you can do this without saying it to you. I mean, that's
he didn't
that's
explicitly say go out and create some Black superheroes for these people who asked me to do it. No, he just looked at me and said, "You know anyone who could do this?" Clearly telling me, step up. You know, you step up or know somebody who can. You know, so it was like a life-changing conversation. It really was. It really was.
I really, you know, it was interesting. So it was, you were at a San Diego Comic-Con when you tried to pull all the thoughts together to, you know, to make.
Well, I was in San Diego. I was at San Diego Comic-Con. It was like 1991 or 19. It was probably 91 because Dwayne was at the con. Michael Davis was at the con. We were all there. Dwayne and I were probably doing Deathlock at the time, right, or something like that. Which is, you know, we're just doing our thing, just being at the con.
Right, because Deathlock, you did Deathlock around the beginning of 1990, 91, around that period too.
Right, exactly. And I'm in San Diego, and I'm with I was with my wife at the time, Chantal, and we were just talking and stuff. And I literally woke up in the morning thinking, I can't wait. Because it was 2 years of me thinking about this stuff constantly and trying to do it. I can't wait. We have to do this right now. I talked it over with Chantal, and she's like, you know, she encouraged me, and I'm like, we have to. So right then and there, I called Michael Davis from San Diego at the Comic-Con from the room at the Marriott or wherever we were. Told him to meet me downstairs. So he met me downstairs. I pitched him my idea. We walked around the outside of the con. I pitched him my idea, and he said I was crazy. He's like, "You are nuts, but I'm gonna join you because you're my boy, and I'm not gonna let you go down in flames by yourself. So ride or die, we're gonna do it." And then I told him, well, let's call Dwayne, who was at the convention. So then we called Dwayne, and Michael and I both pitched Dwayne on this crazy idea. It wasn't called Milestone. It wasn't called anything. It was just an idea. We got to get together and do these Black superheroes. If we get Dwayne and we get me and we get Michael and we get, we also asked Christopher Priest, who was not at the con, but we got him involved, and Derek Dingle, my old buddy from high school, who was running Black Enterprise. And we figured if he was an editor at Black Enterprise, then he knew about business. So he was going to be
a little more than you, right? I mean, because had you done anything like that before? I mean, because you were working in comics at 14 onward. Yeah. So this is the first time you're trying to do something really entrepreneurial,
right? Outside of you know, regular freelance work, trying to put together a company, trying to start a company based on an idea, and creating something that didn't exist before. You you know. And Image, I mean, the guys in Image had gotten together, so they were big inspiration for us, you know, about, yes, collectively 4 or 5 people can get together and make a change. We knew that because the guys in Image did. In fact, the guys in Image introduced us 2 years later at the 1993 San Diego Comic-Con, or 92, the San Diego Comic-Con, as the new thing. We'd like to introduce Milestone. Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, all those guys. We had a big press conference, and then they introduced us, and then we got up on stage. It was awesome. It was awesome. So
that's that's amazing.
Yeah.
So your relationship with Jim goes back a ways.
Goes back forever. Yeah. I remember Jim when he was doing the Punisher up at Marvel. I was doing Deathstroke, and I hated him because he was so good. I did.
Hate him still?
I'm like, who is this guy?
Well, yeah, he's. I've never actually gotten to talk with Jim. I mean,
Jim is a great guy.
Yeah, all the interviews I've ever seen with him, he seems to be a really awesome guy.
Him and Todd looked at each other at one point on the stage, looked at each other and said they had no idea 30 years ago that they, you know, he's drawing Wildcats or whatever, and he's doing Spawn, that they would end up, you know, Todd McFarlane Toys and Jim Lee running DC.
Right.
Like, nobody thought no stuff like that. I certainly didn't think, you know, Milestone would be having an HBO Max documentary, and none of that. Nobody thought nothing like that. You know, so it's amazing.
Well, it just shows you good ideas, you know, bear good things. And I think that, you know, and you put a lot of effort into this. I mean, 30 years down the road, I mean, it's to have it be where it's at today.
Yeah.
It's just a testament to the original mission, you know, I think. And the fact that you're encouraging, you're bringing in new young talent, writers.
That's the only way anything's going to survive, right?
Yeah.
Is bringing in new talent, fresh voices, passionate people. People don't agree with you. People think that what you're doing is old and stupid. Get out of the way, you know, because we're going to show you the right way to do it. That's what we did. That's what it takes. You know, so I'm encouraging that. I'm not discouraging it.
Sure. Well, you gotta be able to. It's funny. I'm interviewing some people for some various jobs here, and that was one of the questions I was asking myself. Do I bring in people who I think are going to confront me, you know, my ideas, challenge me, tell me when they think I'm wrong, or should I just bring in people that are going to tell me everything I do is right?
Well, you get to a certain age, and that's a real debate.
Right.
That's a real debate, because they're like, well, I want the energy, and I want to be really on top of what's happening, and I want to be challenged. I want to be on top. But I don't want to have to deal with people telling me what to do at this age. I just want to be able to do it. Y'all should just listen to me. I've done it before. So let me just hire people who just listen to me.
So you guys were challenging things earlier. So you were those guys, you know, at the end of the day, going out there and getting people to listen and realize that what you were doing was really worthwhile. I mean, and I think there must have been the energy, you know, around the project, you know, getting the thing started must have been really fascinating, because you had to do a lot of character design work before you even really started writing and you know, kind of formulating things. I mean, what was that process like, where you were just trying to come up brainstorming what these characters would be?
Well, we decided with Milestone, you know, we literally all sat in a room, me, Dwayne, Michael, Derek, and Christopher Priest. You know, we all sat in a room. Matt Wayne may have been there at that time because he was Dwayne's buddy. And we had to figure out what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. We knew we wanted to start out with archetypes, right? So Static is an archetype. It's really the Spider-Man archetype. But we took the Spider-Man from when he was young, the Steve Ditko and Stan Lee Steve Ditko Spider-Man, you know, when he was trying to find out things and not quite sure who he was and what was going on. He was an asshole, but, you know, despite the fact that he had powers, it didn't really improve his life. And it was great.
Well, that was, you know, I came along with the animated version, and that was the part of the things I liked about it. You know, was that he was like that young Peter Parker.
Yes,
you know, he's very brash, and you know, he has these powers, and yet didn't really change things for him.
No. But really bright, and you know, really charming. So that was Static. He was based on that archetype, and we like that. Then, you know, we did Icon and Rocket. And Icon is obviously based on that Superman archetype with a big twist, you know, and we gave him his origin to make him unique, give him something familiar, but make him unique. But we also added Rocket to the mix because we wanted Superman and Robin, right? We wanted like that kind of dynamic. And the thing with Icon, I've often said that people love that character, but the way it was written was it was always written from her point of view, in her voice. So we had all these hardcore dudes, macho dudes who love their Superman Icon comic books, reading basically a girl's book, like a girl's diary, dear diary. This is what happened to me today. And then going to Dwayne always cracked up at that. This is a girl's book. This is awesome. But
do they realize exactly, what mind, what place they're getting into, right?
Yes,
I mean, you were really kind of turning things on its head, by doing that.
Yeah.
But it was well received.
Yes, it was. It was really well received. And then of course, Hardware was like the Iron Man kind of archetype, but flipped on its head. And probably Hardware was closest to how Dwayne and I actually felt about what we were going through, what society was, what it was like to be a Black person in their 30s at that time, the glass ceiling, everything. Dwayne and I talked a lot about that stuff at Hardware, so that remained a personal book. And Blood Syndicate was based on like the Avengers or the X-Men kind of thing. But we always saw that at Milestone. We always saw that thing. Why would people get together like that with all those powers and not try to rule,
Right.
So we thought about the Blood Syndicate and this is what it would actually be like if people had powers. They would not be all good. It would be everything they could to try to stay on the right path, So that's how we came up with all the stuff. We just kind of took these things and flipped them on their heads, and came up with original characters through that.
Well, and they're still loved today. I mean, so what's it like working on Hardware now?
Well, it's great. It's great. I mean, I did the first 6 issues with Bill Sienkiewicz, my great buddy, awesome artist, and basically for me it was trying to keep up because we're trying to run Milestone and I'm trying to draw this book, and trying to make it the best book I possibly can make it. But never, you can't rest on your laurels like, oh, Denys Cowan, Bill Sienkiewicz, we'll just whatever we do, it'll be good. It's not like that. It was like a lot of hard work, a lot of trying to make it really good. Me trying to recapture what I felt about Hardware when I first did it 30 years ago, but then I realized I'm not the same guy. I don't think about the same things. I don't have the same kind of energy. So I have to find a different way to approach this material to make it really, really work. I hope I did. We'll see. We'll see what the fans seem to like it. So.
Yeah, I was contemplating trying to seeing if we could get like Bill to be a part of the interview portion of this show, but maybe in the future. I mean, I don't know if he'd be up for something like that, but I think it'd be fun to have both of you guys together.
He'll do it. We can get together and do it. He'll come on.
All right. I think that'd be a great, so if we do another one of these 4 months from now, I think we could start with the both of you before we move on to the sale, just to get some of the stories, because you guys have worked together for quite a while. And
I mean, the real thing to do, if you're going to do that, if you're going to do me and Bill, I would just say have me and Bill for the whole show and sell the ton of Bill Sienkiewicz, Denys Cowan artwork that's available.
Okay.
There's a lot. He has stacks and stacks of my originals.
So maybe we need to plan this one out. But after the show, let's talk about it. I would, because Bill's somebody who I've never spoken with either. And
that's my boy.
I've seen him at shows a lot, but I've never talked to him.
Yeah, he's my good friend. So we can make it work. Let's do it. I'd love to do a thing with him because we would crack up. It'd be a lot of fun.
Well, that's what I was thinking. The chemistry would be really good. Yeah. I almost might not have to say anything. I could just...
No, you wouldn't. It'd be a lot of fun. We just talk shit the whole time. So it'd be great.
Right. All right. Well, then that's we're gonna work on that after the show.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yes, sir.
But when did you first start working with Bill? I mean, was it
in the 80s? We started working. Was Dr. Zero the first thing, or was The Question? I don't remember whether it was Dr. Zero for Epic, for Archie Goodwin, or whether it was The Question.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been The Question, the first thing we did, because we collaborated on the covers.
Right.
We were good friends, so he would ink all the Question covers. He never inked any interiors until this last run of The Question that I did, but he inked all the covers. So I've known, maybe I started work with him in 82 or 83, like that.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I'd picked a few art pieces to look at too. So
Yeah.
Speaking of Bill inking you on The Question.
Yeah, that's one of the early ones.
Issue 12.
Yeah. I always liked that cover.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. And I can see both of you in it. That's the thing. I mean, Bill's inking just really, really complements, your pencils.
He always did. He's just remarkable. He always brought out the best. Like how they're kissing in front of a motel. It's just so bad.
And then what was this? Okay, I saw this piece as well. This was just a Deathstroke piece that you made, but just gorgeous.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun to do. I remember when I was drawing that one and doing the background and doing all that stuff. I remember thinking what Bill was going to do to this is going to be nice. I think this is going to be one of our good ones, and it was.
Yeah, it turned out fabulous.
Yeah.
Let's see what. I want to look at this one too. This was an interior page.
That's an interior page from The Question.
Done with you, but just great storytelling in this thing.
Thank you. Thank you. With Lady Shiva.
Yeah.
And Renee Montoya fighting.
Gosh, just fabulous. I mean, again, you guys just work so well together. So yeah, all right, we've got to work something out.
Yeah, we will.
For the fall.
Yeah, like he has tons of this stuff. All the stuff's at his place because he inked all my stuff. I would just send it, and he would ink it there. He just never send it back. So there you go. So he's got tons of it. We'll work it all out. It'll be great.
All right. No, this is I'm excited for, I think it's I thought about it. I should have pitched it to you earlier, but it was just always in the back of my head. I'm thinking, it'll never work.
No, it'll work.
I'm glad you're on board.
Yeah, just ask him.
So we're going to be showing some artwork from a couple titles today, and I thought maybe even before we get to them, I wanted to talk about the Captain America, Black Panther, Flags of Our Fathers storyline and kind of how that came about, because it was a really, that was from about 10 years ago,
yeah,
I think, and just a really interesting approach to a story when you're talking about something from World War II that's bringing in Black Panther's grandfather.
Yeah,
I mean, what an interesting approach to both of those characters, and then you're working with Reggie on that as well. So what was that project like? And then you had inks by Klaus Janson too. So I mean, the whole
I had Klaus Janson and Tom Palmer. So I had the best of the very best. And well, Reggie pitched the idea to me and Axel 10 years ago. I think Axel may have approached us about doing a mini series or whatever. And we just thought, we always liked the Captain America, Black Panther team up fight, whatever that is that Jack Kirby did. Like, we just love that. We just love the way those two characters represented their own countries and cultures and clash, but ultimately would work it out. So Reggie's brilliant idea was to base it in World War II, and we of course couldn't have the present day Black Panther in World War II, but we could have the present day Cap, who was there, and T'Challa's grandfather, as one of the Black Panthers. It was just a lot of fun. I just pretended I was drawing T'Challa anyway, so it didn't matter to me that it was the grandfather. I didn't think about, man, I gotta make him look different. I made him look just like the Black Panther, because that's what he was. That was a lot of fun. When I found out that Klaus was going to ink it, I was overjoyed. I don't know how overjoyed he was, because he was probably like, "Oh my God, I ink this stuff." But after he got into it, he told me after he got into it, he really, really dug it. And I was just thrilled. I was thrilled. And I think he did 2 issues, had to bow out, and then Tom Palmer steps in. Oh my God, my 2 favorite inkers of all time. And Tom did a great job. Did just a great job, just as good as Klaus. But Klaus really, that was like, I could pretend to be Frank Miller, when Klaus was inking me. That's really what it was. I'm like, it's like Daredevil. with Frank Miller and Klaus Janson.
So Claus did the first two, and then Tom did
Yeah,
the second
and
two
Tom did the
issues.
second. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is like Tom's one of my favorite inkers as well. I mean,
Great
he
guy.
makes
Awesome.
everybody's work look fantastic. I mean, I love his work on Gene Colan.
Yes.
I mean, just he's a consummate, professional, and just he's
Brilliant.
like a Joe Sinnott. He makes everybody, just look great.
My philosophy is really only work with the best. Only work with the very best. They're going to make you look good.
Mm-hmm.
So, any of my shortcomings in my drawings got covered up by working with Bill and Klaus and Tom Palmer and all those guys.
So in those, like when you were mentioning, because somebody asked a question, who decides if the penciler or inker keeps the work? Do you share? I mean, typically, I know when the publisher gets it, they would split it up like 2/3 to the penciler, 1/3 to the inker. But if you're sending all your pencil pieces to Bill, for instance, I mean, was Bill sending you back 2/3 of the work after the fact, or he's just because that's the relationship you had with Bill? He's got it all.
He's got a lot. I mean, I have some of the pieces here, but he's got a lot of it. He's got a lot of it. And I think it's just more logistics than anything else. It's just, I know where he lives. He lives 20 minutes away from me.
Right.
So we're both in LA. I can always go to his house and get it if I really want it. So I'm not really. Yeah, it's usually like a 2/3, 1/3 split. It should be. I know there was a time back in I don't know, was it the 80s, where Marvel had decided that the writers should get some of the original artwork. Do you remember this? You may not remember this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Writers are getting some of the artwork, which was insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you heard what Craig Russell did?
What's that? No, I did not.
So I think him and Don McGregor were working on Kill Raven. I don't know what it was, but Don was coming in to get his allotment of the pages. So what Craig Russell had done was taken off the word balloons, put them in an envelope, and said, "This is your original art. What you get back."
So for those of you missing word balloons on some of your originals,
it was so great. Here's your portion of the original art returned. I hope you enjoy it. And he was right. Absolutely right. So,
that's funny.
I know.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories.
I've never heard that before.
Yes, it's true. Totally true.
Russell's had been around a while, so that's funny. That is really funny. I've never ever heard that.
Yeah, it's true.
It did get a question from the audience. Dean Haskell. He said, "Dennis, great to see you. Still fond of our time in 1985.
Dean.
If you had to pick one piece of comics work that best represents your sensibilities thus far, what would it be?"
That's a good question. It'd probably be Hardware.
Yeah.
It'd probably be Hardware. What Dwayne and I did, and even what Brandon Thomas and I did 30 years later. It'd probably sum up pretty much of my sensibilities and how I feel about things in comics and everything else. Yeah. Dean. Dean with this question.
Maybe you'll have some more while we go throughout this, but so that is cool though. I mean, just I actually hadn't read the Flags of Our Fathers storyline until I got the artwork from you, and then I went back and read it, and I thought it was just fantastic. It was really well done, and it was impressive. I mean, Reggie's
a lot of fun. I mean, the major person in that story was really Gabe Jones.
Yeah,
was really the trumpet player.
Mm-hmm.
That dude in the Howling Commandos, the one black guy.
Yeah.
When the Howling Commandos never got no love, but he was there. We centered a lot of this stuff around him. And so that was fun for us to just bring that character front and center also. So.
Well, that's again really good. Does it? So the other one I want to talk about was the Batman Ultimate Evil, because that's an older work as well. I think from the mid '90s.
Yeah.
And it was adapted from a novel, I think. But how did you get approached to do the work on that?
Yeah, it was adopted from a novel by Andrew Vox,
mm-hmm.
and Andrew, wrote the Burke novels and Stella and all these other a fantastic crime novelist who's passionately an advocate for the protection of children. Right, mm-hmm. He was a passionate advocate for that. So he had written a book, I think it was commissioned by DC, Batman, the Ultimate Evil, took his themes, put Batman in the story. A lot of it takes place overseas in Vietnam and shit. Like, it was like a complicated, crazy story, but they asked him to adapt it into a graphic novel format after the novel. And for some reason, they picked me to draw it. I don't even know why. I didn't like audition for it or anything. They asked me at the time, would you be interested in doing this Andrew Vox thing? And I said, of course. I was a big Andrew Vox fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up talking to him. I think I met him, talked to him. We talked about the story and what we wanted to do. And then, this is very interesting. Archie Goodwin was the editor on it. But I think it was one of those cases where, now that it's all coming back to me, where it was assigned to me to draw. I got the script, but I don't think Archie was really that invested in doing it. It felt like it was something that was put on him to do, and he had to do it. But he wasn't really feeling like very passionate about the project. And, it's like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a corporate decision. You got to, we want you. Andrew wrote this book, Denys Cowan is drawing it. We want you to edit it. And you're just like, oh my God, I've got all this other stuff to do, but okay. So I basically had the script and was left alone for like 2 months when no one contacted me, nobody, no call from Archie, no nothing about this thing that I'm supposed to be drawing. So I took it on myself to take the script as it was, and I just started drawing. I think I did like 30 or 40 pages of material with no editorial input, no anything. And finally brought it into Archie because I hadn't heard anything. And I'm like, I've done all this work, plopped it on his desk. And I remember him just looking at me. Like, sitting back at his desk, Archie just looked at me like, what are you bringing me? And I said, I'm just bringing you this assignment that people have asked me to do that no one's paid attention to. So here it is. And I remember him saying something like, oh, holy shit. Okay. And he took a deep sigh. Okay, I guess I have to do this. And he's looking at me. And that, for the first time, I realized he didn't really want to do it.
Right. He was hoping he wasn't going to see you again with this project.
Yeah, he just hoped I would go away and like nothing would ever happen. But here I am with 40 pages of work. Let's go.
Pencils only at this point, right?
Pencils only at this point. So he looked at it. We went through all the material. I think he actually went in and started editing. So he even threw out like 4 or 5, 10 pages that did not work in the sequence, tightened some stuff up, went through the script, tightened the whole script up. I had to redraw. So it was like a lot of work. But he was really into it and invested, toward the end. So it was a great experience. We got Prentice Rollins to ink it. And I did my very best. On it. And I hoped it made Andrew proud, and I was certainly happy with it. It was one of those Batman books that flew under the radar. I think it sold a gazillion copies. Mm-hmm. Those things that 2-part, and it was done in that perfect format, that prestige format, right? Yeah. So they both sold out. They both were great. Kent Williams inked the covers, and that was good. That was a good experience. I remember all of that.
And you still had pages from it too, which is why we have some
pages, which is insane. I still had pages from it. So,
well, see, and we were talking about that before the show. The idea about, and we've kind of mentioned it here already. You have an attachment to your art, but at the same time, you don't. You sell some of your artwork, but you're not worried that Bill's got a stack of your artwork over at his place. And you have a lot of your originals from back in the day. I mean, I think that, we were talking about the approaches of, certain artists, some artists like, with Walt Simonson, who just doesn't sell anything, to other creators who are just happy to just, they're not very attached to everything. You're kind of like right in the middle, or maybe you're a little more towards the Walt Simonson, where you got it. You're not interested in just putting it all out on the market.
Yeah. It just depends, I'm not. Usually I'll think about selling stuff if I'm very broke, which happens, which has happened, or if someone asks me. Most of the time is if someone asks me. I'm hardly ever really broke, but if someone really asks me, about a certain piece, or they're really interested, it'll start me thinking, oh, well, gee, I've got these other things I could sell also, sometimes I'll have a private collector, who just want one thing of everything. So I have one guy who just wanted all the question stuff, and he got it. He just wanted question, whatever it was. He just wanted question stuff. So I'll get people like that, but for the most part, I'll just sit on stuff, until someone like you calls me and says, let's do this thing,
Well, I just think that's pretty cool, because a lot of people, that's not the approach most creators have, and it's I don't know. Clearly, if you needed the money, you'd be selling it.
Yeah, it's all legit. It's all great. There's no wrong or right way to go about it.
Yeah.
Well, there might be a wrong way, but there's no one right way to go about it.
Exactly. So hey, Jeffrey had a question to kind of back to what happens to those pages that were tossed out during the editing overview. I mean, do you still have the stuff like that? Do you keep the work that you've done, or does it end up in the trash can?
I don't usually trash much. I mean, it probably ended up, repurposed, or I erased some of the panels and they fixed it, or some of the pages just got. I mean, this is over 20-something years ago, especially with that job. So I think I just brought the stuff back home and redid it. I certainly didn't throw anything away.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no. He doesn't want these. Archie doesn't want these pages. Let's just trash Batman.
Archie throws them in the trash, right?
Yeah.
So hey, we're 45 minutes into this. I think this is about when we started selling art the last time. I mean, is there anything you want to cover before we dive into looking at the 15 artworks we've got today?
No, I think
anything you want anybody to know other than we want everybody to watch the Milestone
Yeah,
documentary.
you can tune in on HBO Max. It's streaming now. It started streaming yesterday. It's called Milestone Generations. It's our HBO Max documentary on the company I helped found and all the characters we created. They interviewed Dwayne, and they have Dwayne, and they have Derek, Michael Davis, Reggie is in it. Lots of the Milestone people, and you'll find out about the making of. You'll find out about how to make comics, how comics are created, but also our story, and what it took to start Milestone and what it takes to continue to run Milestone. So it's good. And like we said, if you're a fan of Milestone, it's great. If you're not, it's still great. If you're a fan of comic books, this is the documentary for you, because this is like a real comic book,
exactly. Centric. And I like the fact that through the documentary, it really covered the early period. Then when things kind of went south, but they talked about how they brought you back in and talked how you directed the statics issue, animation stuff, and I thought that was cool that they touched on the things that you were doing outside of Milestone a bit as well. So it's just really well done. If you can watch this thing on HBO Max, you really need to. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So let's go over this. I saw Wes had a question about, do we claim in the chat? No, we do not. So I'll go ahead and just review the 3 slides so you can know how we're handling the claim sale today. Okay. So to purchase art today, it's via email. So you're going to be emailing Nicole at thirdeyecomics.com. And I'll keep flashing that email throughout the sale as well, so you know it. But if you're at your computer right now, it's just a good idea to either open up Notepad and type that in there right now and have it ready to copy paste into into your email program of choice. So you can do that with the when you email Nicole, make the subject at least have Cowan Art Sale in it, and in the body of the email, please include the lot number and your name. And what will happen is the first person who gets their email to Nicole, she will reply to them immediately, letting them know they got it. And I can't promise she will reply to those who didn't get it. But the thing is, if I announce that the artwork has been claimed and you got the email, then you got it. If you didn't get a reply from Nicole, then you did not get it. And so you can, you didn't get the first lot and you want, now you have an opportunity to get the second one. So and I won't rush through the lots like I think maybe we did the first time, so that you have a moment to know that you didn't get lot 1. And so lot 2 is maybe something that you would be interested in. And the prices do not include shipping. Domestic shipping is $20. International shipping is $50. If you buy more than one piece of art, Third Eye will combine the shipping for you. And after the show, Nicole will send out invoices to all of those people who've claimed artwork during the show. And again, all the fulfillment is handled by Third Eye. They have all the artwork in hand. So we do request that payment be made within 48 hours. And so you get that payment done by Sunday. You will have the artwork in the mail Monday, Tuesday next week, and it'll be in hand by next Thursday, Friday. So it's a very seamless process when we work with Third Eye, and I appreciate their partnership working with us on this as well. So there we go. So I think everybody, if you don't have any questions, it's Robert Riley's Comic Store. All right, great, fantastic. So all right, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in here as far as the questions. No, there we go. All right, so we're going to just get this thing started. So we're going to start off with lot number 1, and these pieces, the first 3 lots have a inked piece and a pencil piece. So we can talk a little bit about that, the method of working on these with the first one that we showed, Dennis. So let's go ahead and pull up lot 1. And I've got 2 slides for each of these too, so you can see the inked version and the pencil version. I'm going to start off with the pencil version for each of these, just so you can see Dennis's work first. But so here we go. This will be lot number 1. And it's $500. It's from Batman Gotham Knights, issue 17, page 6. And like it mentions there, it's a 2-piece set. This is the pencil version. And this is the inked version that you'll also get on 11 by 17. So tell us a little bit about the process on these, Dennis.
Well, what I did with these is I started, I do a thumbnail sketch that's about comic book size, 8.5 by 11. And then I'll blow that up and trace it off. What actually happens is I give that to my assistant. He blows it up, traces it off. So, buildings, wheelbarrows, whatever needs to be done, he'll help me place that stuff in, place some of the figures. I'll take it then, pencil the page, actually pencil it. And then I don't ink over my original pencils. What I do is I'll put it on a light box, take a new clean sheet of paper, and I'll ink a clean piece of paper, mostly because I like to keep it all as clean as I can, because I tend to be a kind of a sloppy kind of inker. So it just also, it keeps it fresh. If I make any mistakes, I'm able to go back and do it again without ruining the original pencils. And it just gives me a constant reference point where I can always look at the pencils and look at the inks and just do it that way. So that's the process behind that. That's why there's a set of original pencils that are really original and a set of original inks that are completely original.
Now, have you always worked this way, or is it something that you kind of adopted?
I kind of adapted it, as I've gotten older, and I work with different assistants and I do different things. It was just an easier way for me to work. And plus, when I trace it off like that, it's a much cleaner pencil line and everything else. So if I'm not inking it myself, inkers can kind of understand what I meant and what my intention was.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Got it. All right. Well, this one hasn't been claimed yet, but as everyone knows, you can claim any lots throughout the show. And as I mentioned, we have 3 pages or sets of pages from this particular book. So why don't we go ahead and show lot 2 here as well. And let's see if we want to do pencils first. So this is lot number 2. It's $400. So these are in sequence as well. So this is page 7. Pencils here and the inked version here.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Show Swamp Thing busting into their encampment where they thought they were safe.
Yeah, this was a fun story, definitely. And I know the next page is pretty impressive, but yeah, this was a fun interlude to that to the next panel. But yeah, this is a really cool page as well. So let me switch back to the pencils here. So when I was looking at this, I thought it was I get what you're saying. Like once you have the pencils, it's probably better to for you, it's easier to ink on a separate board just to give you the opportunity to make a few mistakes.
Yeah, or to improve stuff, or to just play around, and yet you can always have the pencils to refer back to. Some people would just Xerox the pencils, you know, and just ink on the original board. And they can always have the Xeroxes, but I always like having both sets of originals. I just like that,
Sure.
you know, having the pencils and the inks like that. I don't know who I learned that from. Probably Neil Adams or somebody like that. You know, just work different ways.
Right. And Sam Maroney asked a question to indicate if it's on comic board, vellum, or regular paper.
On comic board.
All boards.
Yeah,
Yep.
all board.
You can kind of see the DC logo up on there.
Yeah.
And on there.
Yep. That's all on board. The pencils and the inks.
All right. Well, that is the second lot, and it is still available. But
Okay.
now we're going to see the third, and this will be the final lot from this book as well. So pencils first on this page. This one is going to be $1,000. It is lot 3. It's a fantastic splash page. Of course, it's page 8 from this book. Tell me a little bit about the thought that went into this drawing.
That was insane. That was basically Swamp Thing and Batman decide to get together after they fight. You know, to I don't know what this villain is, a scarecrow. I don't know who he is. I don't remember. But in order for them to break into where this guy's lair was and to just take out these villains, Batman basically had to get inside of Swamp Thing's body and use it as like this armor to get through. So it became kind of this bat swamp thing. It was like a crazy thing to have to draw. And then but I think it was the most fun thing because I had to figure out like how would this actually work? How do you even draw something like that? Insane. But
so for something like this, you probably had to do a few roughs.
I had to do a lot of roughs.
Work out how you were going to do
that and work it all out what I wanted to do. But basically, you know, you have to see it in your head first. So this was one of those cases where nothing like this had ever been done before. So I had to really make this up.
All right. And I should let everybody know lot 3 has been claimed. Congratulations to the person who got that. And just so everybody knows, I don't know who claims the artwork. Only Nicole does. And like I said, she's the one who emails everybody back. But you know, hopefully this will end up on CAF in a week, and we'll get to know who picked it up. So congratulations
that's a
to
good
the
one.
person
who
got this page. Yeah, I just want to show the ink again on this one. I thought this was a gorgeous page, Denys.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's one of those crazy ones. Try to explain that to anybody.
Here, I'll throw up Nicole's email again, just so everybody knows. So the claims are going to happen with the emails to Nicole. So just hit Nicole up at nicole@thirdeyecomics.com and let her know what the lot number is and send her your name, and she'll get back to you after the show with the invoices for these. So, thank you, Nicole, as well, for doing all her hard work here. All right, so we're going to move on to something a little different here. This will be we've got 3 pages from Ultimate Evil. And so lot 4 will be the first one here. Let me remove that and pull up lot 4 for everybody. So this is from issue 1, page 28. It is $700. And you know, like you said, this would have been one of the pages you came into Denny with when you put him on his desk. And so
I came to Archie Goodwin was the editor.
Archie, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
Archie Goodwin was the editor, and I came in and put these on his desk. This was that stuff. You know, I just had to kind of draw it with not a lot of guidance, but I had a script and I had an assignment, so they weren't going to tell me I couldn't do it. And yeah, these are the pages I bought in. This is probably one of the early ones, right? Is that from issue 1?
Yeah, issue 1, page 28.
Yeah, definitely one of the pages I bought in for him, to show him. And those were inked by Prentice Rollins. And it was good. It was good. It was an intense story. But I was fortunate that I got to draw Batman at all. You know, it was an honor, really. So,
well, I like the 8-panel layout on this one. It's really tight, and yeah, you know, this again, it's back to the storytelling. I love the kind of back and forth that you've done here with this. It's really nice. So Jeff Moy asked if there's any stats on a page like this. It's all original.
It's all original.
There you go. And let's see. I did see Joe P. must have came in a little bit late. How do you claim you're going to claim artwork today by emailing Nicole at Third Eye Comics. I can highlight that again. You just need to let Nicole know what the lot number is you're wishing to claim, and include your name in the email to Nicole. And that's how you do it. She will reply to the first person who emails her that the artwork was claimed. That's how you know you get it. All right. Well, this one's still available. We've got 2 more pieces from that book to look at as well. So next up is going to be lot number 5. This is from issue 2. This one is $500. And again, this is I love the splatter. So this is Prentice must have enjoyed working on this one.
Yeah, no, Prentice did a good job, but this was not an easy job to draw. It had a lot of different locales. As you can see, it's really dialogue heavy, and I think that's one of the things that Archie was pulling his hair out about, was that there's a lot of words, a lot of words, and but we felt they were also necessary to tell the story. I'm looking at the artwork now, and yeah, there's a lot of patterns and textures in it and stuff. Great shot of Batman, but yeah, this was good. I think Prentice and I were trying to do, like, especially Prentice was trying to do his, like, it looks like his best Dick Giordano.
And you had Dick Giordano do some inks for you, I believe, right? I mean, you worked with him.
Yes. No, he did the Batman's 50th anniversary comic with me. We did that. Sam Hamm and I did Batman's 50th anniversary comic, and Dick inked all of that. Him and Frank McLaughlin, but mostly Dick.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, this I love this page though. It's I love the 4 tall vertical panels. That's something McFarlane used a lot, right?
McFarlane used it. Frank Miller used it a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's what we did. I still use it because it still works.
So on something like this, editorial wise, I mean, did you do it that way because you knew you needed to include all the
here's what you do.
Story elements?
Whenever you lay out a page, this is the trick. You lay out a page, and like I said, I do it 8.5 by 11, comic book size. I'll figure out how many panels that I need, 5 panels, 6 panels. And what you do is you put in the word balloons first. Always. Word balloons go in first. They're part of your design.
Right.
But also, if you put them in first, you'll always have enough room for all your dialogue.
Sure.
But the space you have left, the design space you have left, is where you put the most important elements of your picture. So what you're looking at is, me putting the word balloons in, like probably on that top panel, I probably had them above Batman's head. But because of the way it's all positioned, you would have had to have those 2 giant word balloons above his head, and then Batman's underneath those to the left.
Sure.
To the right, and that wouldn't have worked as well. This worked okay. Covered up the guy's shoulder and a little bit of Batman, but it was still. But
it's all back to sequential storytelling.
Yeah, it's always about.
You couldn't really do that and get Batman's words out there first.
Right, right. So it's always, you always put the word balloons in or the captions in first, and then they're part of the design element. They're part of the design on the page. They're not something that's stuck on. They're part of it. So you have to design it as such.
Except when P. Craig Russell. All right. Well, that one's available as well. So we're going to show one more lot from that book, and it's a really, really nice piece. I think many of you might remember seeing this piece. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's lot 6. It is $1,500. It's to page 32, but just a phenomenal image of Batman here. I mean, this had to have been a lot of fun to draw, and for Prentice to ink. I mean, he must have really gotten into this one. I mean, just all the detail in the cape.
Well, this one was a lot of fun because it's probably, Batman, he did a lot of action, but up till then he was probably standing around talking a lot. So the chance to have him bust out and do something even dynamic was a lot of fun. And I got a chance to do that. I think I had the most fun with the cape in this one. This is just that giant cape with all the swirling stuff. Guy with his hand on the trigger. It was I had a lot of energy back then to do stuff like this. So
Well, you don't feel you have the same energy today?
I do. Of course I do.
I wanted to get that confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one's killer. So it's
Thank you.
it has been claimed.
Oh, that's great.
Just to let everybody know, everybody's going after the splashes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, well, fantastic. Congratulations to the buyer on this one, and congratulations to Dennis as well.
Thank you.
All right, so lots 1 and 2 are still available, and lots 4 and 5 are still available. Those were the first 2 sets there, but we're going to move on to a different group of artworks here. Now, this is we're moving into the Lobo pieces.
Oh.
And these are pencil only. So going into those, do you want to talk a little bit about why it's pencil only?
Because I didn't ink it.
Because you didn't ink it. Exactly. But you have the pencil piece.
I think Bill inked this one.
I believe Bill did as well.
Yeah. Bill inked this one. So in this case, I have all the pencils because I just scanned them and sent high-res scans to Bill to ink. I just kept all the pencils here and just high-res scanned them and sent them off. So that's why I have, those complete sets of pencils.
Sure.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. This was a fun job with Lobo.
And this is a really interesting set of pages too. They're all sequential. They're in order. So I think it's 33 to 38, or I think I've got that right. And I think when we had the last sale, we had maybe the 4 pages preceding this.
Yeah.
So if you picked up any of those, you might be interested in these as well. So I'll go ahead and show the first one here. This is lot number 7, and it's $500. And it's from issue number 1 of Death Metal Infinite Hour Extreme. This is page 34.
Yes, this is Lobo as Batman, or Lobo fighting the evil bat Lobo. Dude, it was a crazy story because it was Lobo fighting Lobo basically, and except I got to draw one guy as like Bat Lobo, and then he was like Shazam Lobo. It was crazy. But any story with Lobo is crazy.
Of course.
I just remember drawing it, going, I can't believe they want me to do this. This is so insane. But I knew that Bill and I were going to have a lot of fun doing this one just because it was such an insane story. Anytime you draw Lobo, you have to put yourself in a different state of mind.
Right. Well, yeah. But now when you were working with Bill, when you turned everything over to Bill, was Bill sharing his inking on these, or did you not see his inking?
I saw his inks. No, I saw his inks before. And it's not like he showed me everything he was doing. Basically, he would ink it and then he would turn it in. But by turning it in, he's putting an email like, okay, these are the pages, these new pages. You can find them in the Dropbox. You can find them here. And I'm looking at him just blown away. I couldn't believe the job he did on these. It was so much fun. But I think he had some good stuff to work with. So on this one,
yes, he did. Of course, he did. Kat said it's not as bad as the baby. I remember that was in the last
yes,
baby Superman as
that's right. That's right. Oh my God.
And so and this is again, it's a unique opportunity for those of you out there to own just the original pencils. Now you got we had those in the first 3 as well, but this is something we don't get all the time when we're collecting original art, to actually get the original pencils from a creator as well. So so this is out there.
They're usually inked or whatever, right? But
exactly like the Ultimate Evil pieces.
Right.
So
these are done.
All right. And West, you said you sent an email in on lot 6 and you think you lost. Yes. If you didn't get a reply, then you did not get it. So and I can also tell you that lot number 1 has been claimed as well.
Oh,
like
great.
I mentioned earlier, I know a lot of people kind of wait to see the artworks that are out there and see which pieces they might want to go for. And then so you're more than welcome to claim any of the lots at any time throughout the show. And, it's completely up to you. You just have to remember to shoot the email to nicole@thirdeyecomics.com. So lots 1, 3, and 6 have been sold. And we just showed lot number 7, and it's still available. So we'll go ahead to lot number 8 here. And this one is $500. And here you've got you're in the mind of Lobo on this one.
Yeah.
Page 35.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he does to that Batman, the fake Bat Lobo, eventually, just shoving him into a different dimension. I just think I had just fun drawing Lobo's face too, because he's just so insane. And all the expressions. But the thing with Lobo is like it's really kind of cartooning. It's not serious comics. It's really like absurd. It's like this absurd guy with these huge muscles. So it made it a lot of fun to draw.
Yeah, as a character, I was always a DC or a Marvel guy, and DC was always, it always threw me. It's like, certain characters, were like, like Lobo. It was hard to take him seriously. I'd see it and I'd kind of pick up the comic and think
But you're
about
not
it.
supposed to take him seriously.
I know. Well, I didn't get it though, Dennis.
Right.
As a young reader, it just he as a character, he always never made sense to me. But
Yeah.
that was the point.
Right.
I couldn't. I don't know. It was just probably my upbringing on Marvel comics. And then I'd pick that up, and it just didn't work for me. So I look at it now, and I feel stupid. But what are you gonna do?
It's just completely absurd. Lobo's just completely and totally absurd. I did a book of Lobo called Lobo's Blazing Chain of Love, and it was a
I've
whole.
not heard of that one.
Yes, if you can find it, it'd be remarkable. It's a whole issue of him basically screwing his way through the galaxy. And all the women that he was banging, swear to God, it was like the most bizarre thing. And I pencil and ink that one. And to this day,
did you approach that like Archie Goodwin approached the other one, where you?
No, this one I did. This one I just did it. But to this day, Simon Beasley, whenever I would see him, would just look at me like, I can't believe you did that. People still ask me to sign that book, and I didn't draw it. You drew it. Sorry, I was just trying to do my best Simon Bisley. So that's what you get.
Yeah. All right. Well, lot 8 is still available. We'll move over to lot 9. And like I said, these are all in order. So this is page 36 from that one. This is only $400. So you've got Lobo in a few of the panels here. So,
and with Brainiac in a dress.
Who would have guessed? I was going to ask you if that was Brainiac. I assumed it had to be, but the dress was throwing me.
Yeah, it's Brainiac in a dress. I don't even remember what the story point was or the plot point was, but I do know that having to draw him in a granny dress was just bizarre, and making it look like it was anything that made any sense was bizarre. But I like drawing Brainiac. He had one pose this whole thing. He just stood like that. That was his pose. So that was good. That was fun.
Is that the way it was written too? Just
him standing there like that? Yeah. After the illusion, after like the the granny dress was removed. It's like that. But I always like that last panel with Lobo smiling, kind of sideways smile. It's a good one. Yeah,
Jeff Moy says it was probably to throw Lobo off.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because that would throw him off. The dress. None of the other stuff would.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this one is still available as well. So we're going to switch over to lot number 10. 2 more from the series to go, ending with a splash page again. So lot number 10, this one's $500. And it's from it's page 37 to the book.
The big fight between Lobo and that ultimate Lobo dude, whoever it was, who kept shift changing and changing costumes and stuff. It was just a chance to draw a slam bang fight. That's all. And that's what I did. Yeah, it was fun. And I got to draw the league, the Justice League headquarters or whatever that is. That was good.
Oh yeah. No, it's the lead into the next panel, which is or the next page, which is the splash page. Oh, and Cesar Alvarez is the one who picked up lot 3. Congratulations, Cesar.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Well, this one is going to be available as well. So this was lot 10 at 500. So I'm going to go hide that one. And now this is the last page from the set of Lobo pages, and it is a splash page, and it is a doozy. This is lot 11. It's $800. This is page 38. You've got all of the Lobos that you could ask for in this one, including Wonder Woman with a cigar, I believe.
Yeah, it's a Wonder Woman with a cigar. It's all the Lobos. It's the Superman Lobo. It's the Batman Lobo. It's all of them jumping and ganging up on our boy. Just insane chaos. But man,
it is great. You got the Flash in there.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's a cast of thousands on that one, but that was probably my favorite one to draw. Even though it was the hardest, it was still my favorite, just because it was so insane. Like, who does that? So,
Well, I'm sure Bill, when he got it to ink, he probably
he
looked
liked
at it and just yeah. Well, to him, yeah. Well, I don't know how would Bill approach something like this, because all the layout work's done. He's just going in to ink it. I mean,
he's just inking it. He
he
doesn't
just
want
tries
to.
to take style out of his face
He
working on
doesn't want to have
something
to
like
think too much about the drawing part. He likes to think about the inking part and likes to think about how to make it pretty, how to do this, how to do that. But I just make sure that all the underlying structure, all the things that he needs for information are there,
that.
so he can do the best he can. I can't do his job for him by drawing every little tiny detail, but what I can show him is the direction that we should go in terms of the inks, and he always takes it to the right place. So that's one of them. This is one of the pages that he did. It was great.
That's fantastic, and it has not been claimed yet. So we'll see how that one goes. As everybody knows, you can claim it anytime. Oh, and I just got a text that it is claimed. So
that's great.
I spoke too soon. Sorry,
Yeah.
everybody. So lots 1, 3, 6, and 11 have already been claimed. We've got 4 more lots to look at here today, and I will kind of recap them as well. So go through them quickly just to remind everybody what's out there. And what I did the last time when I did a sale with Howard, we after the show was over, of course, we let everybody know that throughout the weekend you can still claim things, especially people who watch the show after the fact.
Yeah.
But I do send out a mailing, so I'll send out a mailing later this afternoon showing the pieces and the prices and that of what was out there. So in case anybody who didn't get to tune into the show, they'll actually get to see those pieces as well. So that actually worked. We almost did a complete sellout on everything that Howard had, partially because we sent out some extra PR after the show.
Let's do it. That's great.
Yeah. Now, this next piece, we did have this next piece on the prior show. It was still in Third Eye Comics' hands.
Okay.
And so it was the only piece I think that didn't sell last show. And so what we had decided to do was offer it up once again at a reduced price. And if you're interested in it, you can do it. But if not, it'll definitely be going back to Denys after this one, because it was the only piece that didn't sell during the last show. And Mr. Barucci's probably familiar with this one. This is lot 12. It's $1,900. It is the variant cover to Vampirella issue number 8, and it's totally cool. And I mean, I could see why. Denys, you were the right guy to draw this one. I mean, had you drawn Vampirella before?
I had never drawn Vampirella before. I think Christopher Priest or somebody who was editing or doing the book asked me to do it. So I said, sure, but I had no idea what I was going to draw. But then I was like, no, you're drawing the black Vampirella. I'm like, bet. So she was a lot of fun. I liked her afro. I liked drawing her giant afro and the bat. That was a lot of fun. Other parts of her were fun too, but this was a labor of love. So hopefully, if someone doesn't get it, it comes back here and it gets hung up.
Yeah, I did see that. And Nick Barucci picked up that lot 11 as well. So
he did?
Yeah, he says he finally has a Denys Cowan flash piece.
Oh, that's crazy, right? Yes, Nick, you got it.
So well, congratulations, Nick. Just another great piece in your collection there.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this one is still out there, still available. And like I said, it will be going back to Denys if it does not sell.
Yeah.
We didn't feel it was worth sending one piece of art back to Denys after the last show. So that's why we held on to it. So the next 3 pieces, the final 3 pieces, are all from the Flags of Our Fathers storyline. And so this was from 10 years ago. We talked a bit about it earlier. So these are the first 2 issues from this book were inked by Claus, and the second 2 books were inked by Tom Palmer. So let's go ahead and show lot 13 here. This is so this is by Tom. This is from issue 3 at page 5, and it is $400. Just a very powerful page, I have to say, Denys.
Yeah, thank you. It's a Black Panther and his sons actually being taught a very valuable lesson on cooperation and teamwork and everything else. So they're getting a lecture from their old man. When their old man happens to be the Black Panther, that must be pretty tough. But yes, this was inked by Tom Palmer, and I loved all these pages. Working with those guys, it was just so much fun, so good. And I felt like, oh my God, Tom Palmer inked Gene Colan, and he inked Neil Adams, and he inked blah blah blah. So now he's inking me. I felt like I was part of a very, very nice tradition. And then I got to work with him on one of my favorite characters, so that was good.
No, indeed. This is it's a really cool page, and
Thank you.
Like you said, this a good teaching moment.
Yeah,
from him as well.
Yeah.
Rick Ruff says Palmer batting cleanup equals home run.
Home run.
All right. Well, this is I love the images of Black Panther's grandfather there. So in that fifth panel, just fantastic. And this piece is claimed, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
And you know what? There was a question, and I did miss that. I apologize. Let me go ahead and hide that one now that it has been claimed. There was a question from Caesar on this one. He said that that's beautiful. Who did the inks? Because there's a in the printed version, it looks like it's been inked, but was that digitally inked and colored, or do you know?
I think did Kent ink that? Somebody like Kent inked that. I don't think I inked it. I'll have to look. Because I don't remember, but I think Kent inked this one.
Okay, so and maybe Nick knows.
Yeah, maybe Nick does know because it was for him. But I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I didn't ink it. So
if you did, we would have it, right?
Yeah, you would.
All right. We'll have to look into that. Nick can probably let us know. And so, you know what? If I do hear from Nick after the show, when I send out the email with, I'll put in a little description mentioning who did the inks on that piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denys Cowan inked it, and I'll feel like a totally. You inked it, Denys. You inked yourself. You don't remember?
Well, it's somewhere in your office, right?
Yeah.
All right. We got two more lots to look at here. Lot number 14 is next. So this is $600, again, from Flags of Our Fathers. This is from issue 3, page 12. I mean, this is all out cap action on this one. And with his classic shield, of course, in this thing, which plays a part in the story where he gets an idea from the grandfather. Panther. Yes, exactly, about redesigning his shield. But tell me about this page, because it's just darn. I mean, Tom's inks on this thing are fantastic.
Tom really did his thing. He is so great. I don't know if I've ever really looked as good. My Marvel stuff looks different than my DC stuff, and it's because of like inkers like Tom and Klaus Janson. This page was crazy because I got to draw this evil Nazi lady, basically getting the shit beat out of her by Captain America. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, and he beats his
claim too. By the way, I just want to let everybody know.
Oh, that's great. Reggie's idea was to have a Cap just beating her ass with a fucking frying pan,
and he is,
and it was like the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever. Just like pow. So, well, that's how we feel about Nazis here. So,
taking a frying pan to him.
That's right.
Oh, and Nick says he thinks that that other cover was Kent Williams.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It's Kent.
All right.
He probably has the original, so we'll have to get it from him.
Yeah. Well, congrats to the person who picked this one up. I mean, this was a great page. I mean, I thought it was Tom's inks are just fantastic on it, and your pencils.
Thank you.
Gave him everything he needed to pull this thing together. But I love pages like this where it's breaking the barriers of the panels.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun storytelling. And you did such a unique way with that. Essentially the third panel, the thin one in the middle where the shield's breaking out on the right side there. Up into the top panel. Yeah. Frying pan coming up into that. I mean, it's just really well done. Your eyes really led around the page perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you. That was fun.
All right, so I will pull that one off, and then Alberto, a big Captain America collector. I must say, picked up lot 14. So thank you, Alberto. And oh yeah, there was a question from James Burke about character studies of pinups today. No, there are none. We did have them in the first time around. It just wasn't in Dennis's schedule this time, so we don't have any pinups this time around. Maybe next time. It's all dependent on how much time you have to put things together, right, Dennis? I mean, you worked hard on that first show that we did. I know you pulled those pinups together kind of at the last minute too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on a couple of things that's gonna get the inked treatment. You guys can't see that.
Oh, here, can I I'll go full screen here for you? Oh, dang. Very nice.
Batman sketch. Let me see what else I got, because I did think about you, Bill.
I'm not pushy. I figured we'll get what we get. Oh man, look at that. Oh, I know a few people who would have picked that up if that was available today. Dang.
Everything's available, Bill. Black Panther. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire.
Very nice.
All crazy. Hold on, I ain't done yet.
Yes.
Hardware.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
These are all just pencil pieces that are going to be inked later today. A static.
Well, I mean, Dennis, do you want me to let people know if they're interested in the ink versions of these when they're done? Or are these pieces claimed by people already?
If they're interested, they're not claimed by anybody. If they're interested,
all right.
Tell them to tell you. There's a Batman. There's a question. Hold on. There's the last one.
I want to try to write these down so I can give them to Nicole.
I'll tell you what they are. Question.
All right, we got the question. Very nice.
The rough sketch of the question. We'll show the people again. We have static.
That's a classic image of him. That's great.
Static on his disc. We have hardware. Just looking mean. Image of hardware.
That's pretty.
Thank you. And we have, of course, we have Luke Cage, Power Man, Hero for Hire. And we have, I like this one. I like the way this one came out. This is the Black Panther.
Yeah, that one is really slick.
Yeah. Just a side shot of our boy. But I just like the way this came out. And last but not least, of course, Batman.
Fantastic.
All these will be inked.
So we've got 6, and they will be inked.
Yeah.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the slides in front of me right now, but do we sell those for $500 last time? So these would be $500 when they're inked as well? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth at all, Dennis.
No, that's okay. These could be 500 inked. Yeah, these are about 500 inked.
Okay.
Also the same. They're a bit bigger than the question ones. The question ones were 8.5, 11, and these are like comic book size.
So they're 11 by 17. Somebody did ask about the size as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that we've already had people email about the static and the Black Panther piece.
Okay, well, they can have them.
I'm sure at the $500 price point, everybody's going to be very happy with that. So, I would say complete them with that price point in mind, Dennis, and we'll have to ship those over to Nicole after they're done. So everybody needs to be aware of that. But
they'll be shipped. I'll ship them to Nicole once they're done. So they want Black Panther and static. Is that what it is?
That's the 2 we've got right now. Of course, we might hear from some other people throughout the, for a few minutes left we have on the show today. And, I can make people aware of it as well when I send out that mailing today. So what's the process to claim them? Just send Nicole. I'll highlight it again. I should pull that up. You got to email Nicole at thirdeyecomics.com. And in this case, there is no lot number. Just put Cowan sketch in there and let her know which character you wanted. And again, the first person to email Nicole will get to claim that piece once it's inked. And what we'll do, Dennis, is you have to, I'd say complete all the ones that are claimed, and then we'll send those over to Nicole to ship them out to the buyers.
I'll complete them. I'll complete them by Monday. So I'll send them by Monday.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. All right. Well, Nicole is, you can just shoot her an email right now and she'll let me know if any of these are claimed People are wanting you to take requests now.
Oh my God. Really?
A request for a Tigra.
Tigra.
Have you ever drawn Tigra?
I've never drawn Tigra. Hold on, let me write this down. Do I have to write these down? I'll write it down.
Yeah, probably. And I can let everybody know that, confirm that the Static, Question, and Black Panther are all claimed.
Oh, so Question is claimed too?
Question is
I
claimed.
got to finish that one too? Really
yes,
quick.
you do.
All right.
Would you do a second Static? Someone's asking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vernon, just shoot Nicole an email right now and let her know, and that Denys has agreed on camera to do a second Static, and it would be yours, Vernon.
So I'm doing a Tigra. I'm doing a Static. A Tigra.
Correct. And if so I guess we're giving them the thumbs up on doing the Tigra piece. So you need to shoot an email to Nicole. I got to pull her email up on here again.
Yeah, and Bill, just send me a list at the end of this.
Yeah, I will. I've written it down here. So we're gonna say, and you've agreed to do that second Static as well.
Yeah.
So for Vernon. So Vernon, just make sure you email Nicole as well. And the hardware has been claimed now as well too.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow, we could do a show just of you coming up with you doing these sketches, Denys,
I know, right?
And we could just say what would you like, and
I know.
Well, that's you mentioned when you were at San Diego, you were never behind a table, so you weren't sketching or anything. Is that something? Do you do a lot of sketching at shows?
Not much.
No.
Not much. It takes a lot for me to sit down and do sketches. Occasionally, I'll do it, but to have me sit there and just do sketch after sketch. Like I'll probably be doing it. I'm going to be at the Long Beach Comic Con September for 2 days. So I'll probably be doing it there. I'll have a table and I'll sit down and sell posters and do that. But it's rare for me. It's not one of my favorite things to do, though. I love meeting fans and drawing. That's just exhausting.
Right.
It's just like, it's a lot. So
when you're at the comfort of your own home, it's a little bit easier.
It's a little bit easier, Yeah. So I'll sit down over the weekend and I'll work on Tigra and another Static.
And the Luke Cage has been claimed as well.
That's amazing.
And I was trying to find the WT3A HOA since Denys did agree to do the Tigra piece. Please be sure to email Nicole. I was trying to find the name of the person who posted that. So thank you for that. So we've got that on there. Let's see. I'm just reading through here. And Nicole, George Hodge wanted to know if he was the one that got the Static. I don't know if you had a chance to reply to him as well. And I apologize, Nicole. You're rolling with the punches here on this. This is kind of
this is last minute. You didn't expect
this is off the cuff that that we're doing here. So I don't know if George was the person who got the Static or not, because I'm assuming George really wanted a Static.
One person wanted a new Static, right? And another person claimed the Static.
Correct. So and then someone asked you if you would do a second one, and you said you would. So
yes.
All right. Well, maybe we should show the last piece in the set here, I think.
Okay.
I missed one question here. Where was that? Ronald said, I would like to have a black Vampirella. Is that possible? And then someone mentioned, did you see lot 12? So I don't know, Ronald, did you see lot 12? Because it was a published cover. It's pencils only from that, not the inked version of the piece. But
Ronald, you could have a black Vampirella.
So that's the question. Do did you not want the cover, but you wanted just a sketch? I don't know if Denys, would you want to do that?
I'll do it. I'll do a black Vampirella sketch if that's what he wants.
All right. Well, yeah, Ronald, if you could let me know. Because I don't think I saw you comment on. Ronald's a regular in our chat, by the way. I don't know if I saw Ronald comment beforehand. So if he had seen it, I could show it again. Oh, he's not interested in the published cover. Too rich for me, but he'd love to get a black Vampirella sketch, ink sketch.
All right.
Okay. Well, Ronald, then please go ahead and email Nicole at Third Eye Comics, and we will make that happen for you. I'm beginning to think this might not be Monday when these are going to go out, but it'll be close.
Not all of these.
Right.
It will be Monday for the two.
But we will get them done, and they will get mailed to Nicole.
Yeah, definitely by the end of the week. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Samuel Rojas just made a super chat, which essentially is a donation to the channel, saying lunch for Nicole.
He deserves it.
There you go, Nicole, you are definitely appreciated. Thank you so much. I couldn't imagine trying to. I'm writing it down here too, but Nicole's having to check the emails and all that.
Pulling her hair out right now, going, "What are you doing to me?" But
right, but Nicole, if you could text me and just so you can tell me maybe the two people who picked up these static pieces, because it does seem like a couple other people were very interested in getting a static piece. I know it just went by. Where was it? Oh, Ronald had also asked about static, but he didn't hear anything. If you didn't hear anything static, then the initial one was claimed. So, but I know George Hodge was asking about potentially getting a static as well. So
yeah, I'll do whatever people want. I'm surprised that the Batman people weren't into the Batman one yet.
That one's a good one.
This is the craziest one. This is like the best one to me, and I'm like, oh my god.
All right, and from Nicole, I can relay this to Vernon. She says that Vernon claimed the static has requests, or Vernon claimed the static and has. I'm waiting to hear back if he wanted both. So I think Vernon. I'll pass the first one on. If not, I'll pass the first one on to the next after Vernon. Oh, so Vernon. Okay, so Vernon's got the. Vernon actually gets the published piece. So Vernon was asking. He's the one who was asking if we could do a second, but she's emailed him back. I guess maybe he hasn't checked his email to know he got it. But Vernon, you actually got the first one. So if that's the case, George Hodge, maybe you're the one. You've already emailed as well. So unless Vernon was trying to claim two pieces, which I don't think Nicole, that's what Nicole's trying to confirm from Vernon, then we can go from there. But she's texting me as well. But hey, Ronald, all these pieces will be $500. So if you can go 500 on the Batman, it's yours.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's go ahead and show the last piece.
Okay. We still haven't.
But thank you for everybody for kind of rolling with us on this.
Great. Thank you.
And Vernon did confirm he only wanted one. So I'll find my second one if he's doing two. So he will be doing Dennis agreed to do a second one. I do believe George Hodge also emailed about that as well. But I don't know who, Nicole, you see the emails coming in. So you know who requested that one second. So, and you'll email them to let them know. And George, we'll have another opportunity somewhere down the road if you didn't get it this time around.
We'll hook you up.
Yes. So Stephen Murillo said, "Who did that Batman?" That's Dennis. Dennis drew the Batman. So if you want it inked, you can get it for $500. So all right. Well, Nicole's still texting me here, but I'm going to go ahead and show the last piece of the show today. This is lot 15, again from Flags of Our Fathers. And let me highlight that one and drop this note off there. So this is from issue 4. This is, again, a piece inked by Tom Palmer. It's $500. This is page 17, kind of the aftermath of some events here.
Yes.
You got Red Skull as well.
Red Skull and Baron von Stryker. And it's the wrap up where they kind of like, do the whole, we're going to lecture you guys after we finish whooping your ass. Nick Fury gets in on it, but basically this is really between the Black Panther and Stryker at the end of the day, and what's being told to him about never ever trying anything like this again, because this is what's going to happen to you, but worse. So this was powerful stuff for me to draw, for Reggie and I to do. But I love Tom Palmer's inks on it. It's like the classic. It's probably the closest I get to, like I said, pretending I was Neil Adams or John Buscema doing a classic run or anything, because I got a chance to work with Tom Palmer on these beautiful inks. So this is very special for me.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Now, was the panel layout choices, because this is very similar to the to lot 13 as far as the panel structure, was that something you kind of consciously did throughout the entire book? I mean, was it
everything was conscious.
Yep.
Everything, all my design choices are conscious. There's nothing unconscious. They're all deliberate. It's just the way I was taught. So the way I was taught to do comics was that storytelling was first, and great picture making was second, and pretty picture making was third. But the most important thing was that people understood what was going on all the time without any dialogue. You shouldn't need the dialogue to really kind of get the gist of what's happening. So it's always been my guiding principle, and everything is deliberate. Everything was done with that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, this one's been claimed as well, just so everybody knows.
Oh, that's great.
And the Batman sketch is claimed.
Oh, there you go. We'll do it.
Wow.
They can have it.
I think we've come up with an interesting twist to the show.
For real.
Every single sketch you had is sold, and we even sold an extra static and the Black Vampirella and the Tigra.
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, and Khalil picked up this one. Khalil, congratulations, man. Khalil is a huge Black Panther collector.
Love
and definitely this is going to the right person.
Good. Love it.
All right. Well, this is the very, very interesting end of the show here, Denys.
Right? Not bad.
I'm glad we showed off those pieces. Wow.
I know. I wasn't planning to. I was just standing here looking at them. I've just been working on them all week. And they're actually the pieces. These are pieces from my website.
Okay.
So they're going to be on like the frontispieces. They're going to be actually published work. The frontispieces on different sections of my, my artwork for sale website.
Well, you hear that, everybody?
So the Batman section, and there'll be the, I'm going to do a Deathstroke piece. There'll be a static section, a Black Panther section. So that's what these were for.
Wow.
So yeah,
again, so you could say they're published. I mean, they're not in print, but they're on the
published.
web, and that's almost as good. But but that's a cool reference point for the people who get these pieces.
Yeah, no, they'll go on the website and they'll see
using them on for his website update, and that's totally cool.
And I urge people to visit my website if they want to see what's been going on with Denys Cowan at DenysCowanArt.com. Go check it out.
I should have wrote that down. Denys,
I know it's DenysCowanArt.com.
Right. I'll make sure I put it in the show description after we're done here.
Thank you. That'd be great.
Not a problem. All right. Khalil has a question for you. Denys, do you still have Marvel Fanfare 60 cover featuring Black Panther where he collaborated with Simonson? One of my favorite covers ever.
All time. No, I do not have that. That is one of my favorite covers, but do you know who does have it? Reggie Hudlin has that. It's hanging in his office. Like when I go to visit him at his place, like I'll see my cover that Walt and I did, just hanging there with the guy Black Panther with the fist and
Wow.
That was a gift. That was a birthday gift. Now I think about it, I'm like, I should never have given him that. I should have just kept it.
Well, it's in good hands. That's for sure.
It is. Maybe I can borrow it back or something. I don't know. That'd be good.
And there was a question. Yeah, I mean, all those pieces did sell, Carl. But says Carl is my friend. The question was, are Tom Palmer's inks over the original pencils? Those were on those
the original pencils. Yeah,
on the Flags of Our Fathers pieces. Yeah, those three.
Yeah, those are all over the original pencils. There are no pencils to that.
So, and let's see. I can tell you, Lot 12 was just claimed as well. So we just got that was the cover. Congratulations, whoever picked that up. Thank you so much. Yeah, the
Vampirella cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. That. So I was just going to do the recap, but I did have one. There was one other question that came in, and I'll just throw it at you. Yeah. Caesar wanted to know if you would do a Jonah Hex.
Caesar, yes, I will do it. See, I'll do a Jonah Hex. No problem.
All right. Well, again, this is very unorthodox. Everybody, we don't normally do that.
But I'll get the complete list from Bill about all the sketches I owe people, and then you will have them.
All right, we're going to cap it right there because I want to make sure that Denys can get these done this week and get them to Nicole by the end of the week. So we're going to cap these requests now.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for kind of rolling with us on this, especially you too, Denys. I mean, this that was kind of fun.
That was fun.
I'm glad you picked up that Batman.
I know, right? I wasn't going to, and I'm just staring at it like, okay.
All right. Well, Caesar, go ahead and email Nicole as well and let her know that Denys has agreed to do the Jonah Hex for you, and we will make that happen.
Yes.
Now, of course, for the pieces that are the regular lots 1 through 15, those will go out immediately, unless you're also getting one of these sketches. I guess we'll probably hold it back and ship those out, when the sketches come in as well. But if you only got a piece from lots 1 through 15, once the payments is arrived, we'll get those out right away. But I'm going to go ahead and show the pieces that I have as unsold, and hopefully I'm not making any mistakes here. I think I followed along with Nicole here. So lot 1 was claimed. So I will go ahead and show lot 2. Lot 2 was $400, and this is where you get the inked page by Denys and also the pencils page by Denys. And this is kind of the precursor to that big splash page with Batman and Swamp Thing all around him, where they're just punching through the wall of this shack. So this one's still available. It's at $400, and it's lot number 2. Next up, we have lot number 4 from Batman Ultimate Evil, issue 1, page 28. This was inked by Prentice Rollins over Dennis's ink or pencils, and lot number 4 is $700. And just and it you know, so this is 95. This is similar. So this is similar storytelling, you know, as what you did then in 2010. So it's kind of trademark, you know, structure that you've got here, Denys, on these pages. You know, with that.
Oh, with the tiers panels.
Yeah. I think that's you know, it's kind of unique to you. So
really, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I've seen plenty of other people use it. Like if you look at any other Walter, like just look at Walt Simonson's books and Frank Miller's books, you'll probably see the same kind of layout.
I'm gonna go back and look through them.
You're gonna have to, because that's pretty much where I got it from.
Well, you know, borrowing from Walt or Frank is
best.
Exactly. All right, so this one's still available. Lot 4, $700. Lot 5 is still available as well. This one was $500 as well. This is from Batman Ultimate Evil, issue 2, page 16. Again, Dennis's pencils, Prentice Rollins inks on this one. Lot 6 was claimed.
Oh, great.
So then we have 4 remaining. They were lot 7 through 10, and these were the Lobo pieces. So this is lot 7. It was $500. You've got Lobo Batman in this one, and you know, fighting Lobo. And this is page 34. Again, $500 on this one. Lot number 8, $500 as well on this one. Just Lobo being Lobo in this one. Great imagery on it. This is page 35. $500 on that. And we've got lot number 9. $400 on this one with Brainiac and Lobo. Page 36. And again, this is $400. And then finally, lot 10. This is page 37. In front of the Justice League right here. And Lobo getting punched in the face by Lobo Superman, I believe.
Yep.
So those ones are all available. What do we got? Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 pieces that were unsold from the 15 that we presented. And gosh, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sketches that we didn't even know we were going to be offering today. So yeah, all right. So I didn't get any text from Nicole during that. So those 7 pieces are still available to anybody who'd like to claim them after the show. As I mentioned, I will go ahead and send out an email probably in a couple hours, just listing those 7 pieces so that people who maybe weren't able to tune in or are tuning in late are aware that they're still available. Oh, lot number 2 just got claimed as well. So
love that.
Yeah. No, that's good. So all 3 of those got claimed. All right, got that. All right. So Denys, lots of fun. We made it. I want to get this thing done before we hit the 2-hour mark. So I appreciate you know, you doing this again for a second time. I look forward to hopefully being able to do the next one with Bill.
We'll do it with Bill. That would be Let's see. We'll do me and Bill. It'll be fun.
Let's do that, and really let's kind of coordinate and think about what pieces to bring to that, because it might be fun to kind of hit on different periods of your.
If we do our whole career, you're talking about 30 years of work.
Right. So you know, let's not like do 10 pieces from one arc. Let's try to pick pieces throughout your collaboration period together.
Let's see what he has and what I have. You know.
And you know what's funny? You guys are so close, and you're going to be on separate.
Yeah, I know. That'll be insane. But we'll make it work. We'll do it.
Yeah. No. I look forward to doing that. And so let's talk more about that after the show. But thank you for doing this. Thank you everybody for tuning in as well. And
we really appreciate it.
Working with us on that sketch opportunity that we weren't planning on at all.
Awesome.
But again, like we mentioned, the Milestone documentary is out on HBO Max right now. If you got free time, watch it after the show. If not, be sure to check it out as soon as you can. Yes. It is fantastic. And Carl is my friend. Let's see, he got lot 12 and 13. So, but missed out on 14 and 15. So that's how these shows go. But thanks for participating, Carl. I don't recall seeing your name in the chat before. So if it's your first time doing one of these, Denys and I sincerely appreciate you checking
We
us
love
out,
it.
the
Thank
show
you.
out
Thank
and
you,
picking up
Carl.
some artwork today.
You're the man.
Yeah. All right. Well, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, Denys. You've
Thank
got
you.
some work cut out for you.
Yeah,
now.
no, I got a lot of work to do, so I better get to it. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Bill. You are the best.
My pleasure, Denys.
We'll
I
get
really enjoy
together
getting to hang out with you. Next time you see me sweating it in a line,
I'll
though,
say
go ahead
something.
and tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah,
'Cause
really.
I would have loved to have gotten to shake your hand.
I should have, but I was so sorry for you. All right.
All right, everybody. Have a great afternoon.